welcome back to the show. We're going puns because we're getting game, set, match ready for the Wimbledon finals this weekend in the Six Kitchen. We just thought we'd load it with the puns, Aisling. So
bring it all.
What we're having.
We are having a Pimms Eton Mess. So Pimms, strawberries, Wimbledon, they go through about 280,000 drinks of Pimms at Wimbledon.
Oh my God, must all be locked watching tennis.
Strawberries and about 7,000 to 10,000 litres of fresh cream.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
How do they focus on the ball, moving at speed?
This year is the first year I've seen people with pints walking into the crowd. Normally you'd see they disguise it better if it's beer, but this year they're like, no, I don't care, just take the beer,
So we're going to do an Eton Mess. So very, very classic dessert. You know me, we're keeping the technique really simple, but packing in loads and loads of flavour. So we're going to start with a meringue.
Yes.
I'm doing a slightly different take. So, you know, meringue is kind of harder, drier shell. Pavlova has that little bit of marshmallowy centre. So I didn't want them, you're looking at me blankly, don't know.
No, I do.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to have still the meringue, but I just want it a little bit softer. I don't want it so dry.
Yep.
So when you change a meringue into pavlova, you add vinegar and you add corn flour. So instead of adding the normal amount, I'm just adding a 1/4 teaspoon of corn flour and a 1/4 teaspoon of vinegar in. And what that does is it keeps them ever so slightly marshmallowy, but just not as dry as the meringue. So it's lovely in the Eton Mess. It works really, really nice. You're just going to put this on for a sec, mix that around. So meringue, for every egg, you're using 55 grams of sugar, right? That's just the easiest way to remember it. So it doesn't matter how many you're making.
I always wonder why people make meringues instead of pavlova all the time, because it's just so much nicer. And
you prefer pavlova?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, the meringue shells in the supermarket can be quite dry, but actually a lot of the supermarkets have started to sell a much better homemade version. So actually, if you did really want to try this at the weekend, you can get a much higher quality meringue nest than you used in the supermarket.
Is a pavlova more difficult to cook than a meringue?
God, no. So low oven, low and slow in the oven. That's all you need to do. So this went in at about 120 degrees for about an hour and let them dry out. And that's what they turn out like.
Delicious.
So I've crushed up one already, right? So that's your meringues. Done, ready to go. Crumble them up. Ta-da. This is what you have. And they're fried.
What was the point in making if you're going to just break them like that?
That means I get to just have one of the meringues by itself.
Totally, yeah, go for it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the Pimms syrup, right? Now this is what brings it all together. So what is a Pimms? It's a cocktail, it's a long drink, right? So you put your Pimms in your glass or in your big jug with lots and lots of ice. Then you put in, so you use about 1/3 or 1/4 Pimms. You put in lemonade, like white lemonade. Yeah. And then you top it up with cucumber, lemon, orange, strawberries, whatever you want. So we're taking all of that and we're making a syrup for this Eton Mess, right? So we're going to put in 100 mils of the Pimms, and this is Pimms number 1, which is the most popular type of Pimms. So they did invent Pimms number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is gin-based. So it's gin with kind of like citrus and spices in it, and they then invented one based on brandy, on whiskey, on all the different spirits. But over the years, it was invented in 1840. Over the years, it got like discontinued. And this is the one.
The one that stays.
This is the one.
Like the Rocky films. Everyone says
the first one is the best.
Everyone's got their favourite.
The first is the best. So what I'm going to do is I have oranges and lemons. I've got my peeler, right? You just peel the zest off, and then you basically cut it into long, thin strips. So again, the skin or the zest is where all the natural oils are. So I've just shredded all that up. Yeah. So that's going to go into my Pimms. Into that is going my caster sugar. So I've got 75 grams of caster sugar going in there. And I have just a big wedge of cucumber going in. So you want all those flavours to mix around. Pop that in. I'm also putting in a tablespoon of jam, seedless jam. Now, if you're looking for seedless jam in the supermarket, it tends to be the cheaper version jam. One that you mightn't buy is the best one to put on your toast, but it works perfectly. So put that on, stir that all around, right? I'm actually going to move these out of the way. And you leave that on, so bring it to the boil, let it bubble for about 5 minutes, and you end up with this thick syrup.
Okay.
All right, so then what you have to do is, obviously all the flavour has been extracted into the alcohol and the sugar, and you want to just drain it off.
And sieve it through.
Yeah, so you don't want, obviously, any of the old bits of cucumber and orange at this stage. They're dead to you. They're
gone. Right.
But you just want all that gorgeous syrup. And even if you made this and made little cocktails out of it, or whatever the case is during the summer, like, it's lovely. But this is it. This is what makes it be the Pimms Eton Mess. It's like, I can't wait for you guys to actually smell it and taste it.
Because I don't think I've ever had a Pimms one. I've had an Eton Mess, but not a Pimms one.
Oh yeah. So this is it's just a lovely little potato, because classically it's strawberries, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually build it now. So I'm just going to move this out of the way a little bit. So I've got my lovely little dessert trifle cocktail glasses. So we're going to layer in meringue, cream, strawberries, and then I have one or two other little bits and pieces as well. So the meringue goes in on the bottom, and then you want to pop in your cream. So I've just whipped cream. To make it even just a little bit nicer with my whipped cream, I put in just a little bit of vanilla. So vanilla extract.
Oh.
So it gives it that lovely vanilla kind of chantilly cream flavour. So we're going to pipe in our cream. So just blob that in all around. And I'm going to do this one. And then I have some beautiful strawberries. Now, to macerate the strawberries in the flavour, you can do, if you don't use Pimms, obviously for any of this, you can just substitute and put in, like, so orange juice would work here really, really well. So I'm putting in 50 mils, put that in, put a little bit of sugar, so 2 tablespoons of sugar in, and you leave that be, and you leave it sit for about 30 minutes, okay?
What is macerating?
It basically means you're bringing out the flavours. So you're allowing all of the flavours to come out. So you're bringing out the natural acidity and the natural sweetness. So it's really like pulling all those gorgeous flavours out of your strawberries. You can use lemon juice as well. So it's really lovely. If you leave them any longer than half an hour, they go super soggy, okay? So I'm obviously not leaving them half an hour here. I'm just putting them straight in for this purpose. But yeah, they go soggy. So only do, like, have your meringues done before your guests arrive, have your cream done, have all of that, but just leave your strawberries half an hour before, okay? So your strawberries go in. And then I wanted to get a little bit of orange flavour in, because I know the orange is obviously in the syrup and all of that. So what I did was I mixed together. You can use lemon curd or orange curd. Yeah. So if you make meringues, you're going to have your egg whites. Don't waste your egg yolks. Use your egg yolks to make a lemon curd. If you are an orange curd, I should say, or a lemon curd, you could use either. If you can't find that, you can substitute it with marmalade. You could substitute it with orange jelly. So cut up little cubes of orange jelly. And then we have our amazing syrup that's going to drizzle on next. And don't be sparingly with this, just lash it on, because you want all that gorgeous, gorgeous flavour.
That looks fantastic. Aisling, it's a credit to you, fair play. And you'll be eating that, and I'll be eating that, and Myrna will be watching the tennis. So that's the plan. If you want to catch Aisling's recipe, you can head over to the 6 o'clock show Facebook page or rewatch it over on YouTube. Just search VMTV Food. Lovely.
Absolutely. More on WhatsApp. She texts in, Ray, what on earth is the Pink Panther doing? It sounds like the holiday from hell.
It's none of your business, Maura.
It's your picture.
That's between me and the Pink Panther.
Again,
can I just keep on... Thank you for your feedback. It's none of your business.
That picture come up.
That was Portugal in around 1993 or 4.
It's like you were rejected.
He was a Portuguese Pink Panther.
Nirvana. It was like, no, his hair isn't good enough for Dave Grohl at Nirvana.
We're still in touch. He's on my Facebook friends list.
Thank you for all the messages tonight, by the way, folks.
Thanks, lads.
But that's all we've got time for. A huge thank you to all of our guests, and of course, Aisling for the food, making it look amazing. Coming up on Monday's show, we've got an exclusive with the very first person who was kicked off Love Island 2021, Shannon Singh, and also BBC Radio 1 favourite Scott Mills will be checking in.
That's it from us for tonight. Have yourself a lovely weekend. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the mess, the Eton Mess. Enjoy the tennis. Bye-bye.